Everybody, welcome back. In this video, we will be discussing the Netflix controversy for the movie Cuties. Now, in this video, I will be breaking down to you what the movie is about, what the controversy is about, and then a little backstory, a little stuff that people don't really want to talk about. So, the movie's about an 11-year-old French girl from Senegal, and she's growing up, and as you can see from the trailer, which I will post in the link below, I'm not going to show it here because numerous reasons. One, I don't want to get any what's that word called, copyright. I don't want to get any copyright, and I don't really want to show because the trailer shows some very inappropriate things in my opinion, and I'm not gonna promote that, and I don't want that on this channel. So I'm going to show some screenshots from it when I'm breaking down the trailer, but I'm not gonna actually show the actual trailer. But in the trailer, you can see it's starring an 11-year-old little girl from Senegal. She's a French Senegalese girl, and she's growing up in this conservative house, this very traditional house, and she meets these groups of friends, girls around her age, and they start their little dancing crew. And that's kind of what the story is about, her breaking away from her family tradition. And as you can see, she lived in a very large, well, it wasn't a large house, but she lived in a house with a lot of people in it, and she broke away from that because she wants to kind of like find herself. I guess this is more like a coming of age type movie. She wants to find herself, and she wants to dance, and she's very talented at that. She's very talented at it. I kind of messed that word up. But what is the controversy about? So let me show you exactly what Netflix had said that made people so outraged about this film. According to Netflix's description, it goes, Amy, 11, becomes fascinated with a twerking dance crew. Hoping to join them, she starts to explore her femininity, defying her family's traditions. Okay, so this is what a lot of people were very upset about, and this is really what the controversy is about. About an 11-year-old, now they state she's 11 years old, and they said she becomes fascinated with a twerking dance crew. So people are outraged. People are calling Netflix, they're saying that Netflix promotes pedophilia, which an 11-year-old twerking and dancing very sexually is, pedophilia, is in that realm, in that energy of pedophilia. And Netflix is trending now. So Netflix has this apology. So let me show you guys the apology. We're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that was used for Magnoons/Cuties. That's a French word, so I'm not French. And if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, just, forgive me, please. It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film, which won an award at Sundance. We've now updated the picture and description. Okay, so now they're saying they're sorry. Now they're saying that what they had put up was not representative of the actual film. Now that they're saying that what they did was a mistake. But they're apologizing, saying that what they did was a mistake that should not be reflective of the film. Here is what they actually put up. This is their cover-up. This is what they put up now. 11-year-old Amy starts to rebel against her conservative family traditions when she becomes fascinated with a free-spirited dance crew. So that is what they put up. Now here are some other statements from other people saying that the actual Netflix description was not representative of the film. There was no controversy when this film was screened to festival audiences, but now it's at the center of an online controversy with tens of thousands of people signing a petition saying the film promotes pedophilia because of the way Netflix framed the poster. So let me ask you, why do you think Netflix had that description up there? What do you think could possess them to put something that was up there that was so inaccurate? If it was, if that was not how the film was meant to be represented, if that was not in any way reflective of the film, why do you think that Netflix described it that way? Netflix described it that way because that's how they saw it, because that's really how it is. So the people who describe the films have to actually see the films. So when the Netflix crew, whoever saw the film, this is what they took from the film. And that is why they have put that up there. So why did they take that from the film? Why, if that was so inaccurate, why did they take this incredibly gross misrepresentation of the film, and why did they describe it that way? If we look at the trailer, and this is not the picture of the film, this is not Netflix's description, this is the trailer itself. If we look at the trailer itself, we can see that Netflix's description of the film was actually pretty accurate to what we see in the trailer. I'm not going to be showing the footage, I'm not going to be showing the trailers, but I am going to be showing little screenshots of the trailers to help you visualize, to help the audience visualize what I'm saying. So, this is an 11-year-old girl. She seems very curious. And the first scene, in the very first few seconds of the trailer, you see a young non-black woman. She's about the same age. And she's ironing her hair. She's flattening her hair, straightening her hair on an ironing board. And you see Amy, the little girl, the protagonist of the film, you see Amy try to resemble that. And I think I'm going to make another video about non-black girls and black girls when it comes to hair, because I do think that is a very interesting, that's the first thing that caught my attention, like, that's kind of interesting. But going on, you see they start hanging out, they start talking. Now, in the trailer, and I'm not going to do a full breakdown of the trailer, but in the trailer you can see that she has a very traditional Muslim family that is very strict. And you can see that she's kind of veering away from her family, and she's hanging out with these groups of girls, and the girls are dancing and things like that. So forgive me for mispronouncing this name, which I probably will do because the name is actually French, and I'm not from France. I don't speak French, so I'm probably going to butcher this name. If I do, I'm sorry. But the director's name is a young woman from France named Mamouna Dujour. Okay, so despite her name, and I probably did mess it up, but despite that, she goes on to say that this film was her trying to show two different cultures. This film was her trying to show her, because she is from France, but her parents are from Senegal, which is a country in Africa. Now, she stated several times that she's seen the hardships of being a female, the hardships of being a young woman growing up in this world. This is her trying to address the traditional lifestyle growing up as a woman, and then this is her trying to address the very oversexualized lifestyle of growing up as a woman. This is the trying to meet in the middle based off of her description. Now, let's continue to break down the trailer, and let's see if her description of the film is actually what we see based off of in the trailer. So as the trailer goes on, you can see her and her friend are starting to become very close. They're like best friends. And notice too that the clothing that she's wearing is becoming more skimpy. She's dressing in more skimpy clothing as the trailer continues. I think that's important for you guys to notice. She's hanging out with this group of girls, and she does this type of dance routine or something like that. And that starts to trend on social media. So she's becoming really close with this crew she has, this young crew of girls she has. And she steals what looks to be a credit card from her parents, from her mother, and her mother gets upset with her. She starts arguing with her, and she slaps her in the face. Let me tell you why it is important for the trailer to show the mother slapping the daughter in the face. The rules and the chores plus the slap, those things add up. And those things are used to show that the child is being abused, that the child is in a dysfunctional family, which is what the Netflix's new description says. This is a dysfunctional family. This family is crazy and dysfunctional. They're saying that her upbringing, her family is dysfunctional. So you can feel better with her veering off and her doing her thing with her now free dancing. That's what they're rewording twerking as, free dancing. crew. With that crew. The reason why it's important is because this was clearly going to appeal to pedophiles, but they try to do this to children, and they try to say, see, when your parents tell you to do something, that's really kind of abusive for them to tell you to dress a certain way, or for them to tell you not to do that's kind of abusive. So they try to have this film where it is very, very traditional. They are in Senegal. You can tell it's not like they have a lot of money. They live in this very, I don't know the size of the house, but you can tell it's many people living there. It's many people in that house. So she's not growing up with a lot of wealth. Her parents are very strict. Oh, dressing is like the devil. Or some she said, some dressing is like the devil, whatever. Some she said, dressing inappropriately is wrong. End of it. Now, as you see, there's one woman that's maybe her older sister, or maybe her auntie, or a friend of the family that is kind of confronting her, who was consoling her. That's what I'm saying, consoling her, giving her words of advice, and showing some type of affection, which is the only adult in the movie who's doing that. So they're looking at, okay, she has one good adult who's kind of telling her, be free, be yourself, giving her support. And you see that, as opposed to her, I'm assuming that this is her mother, or her guardian, at least, that opposed to her mother slapping her in the face, and another woman saying dressing inappropriately is from the devil, or something like that. And you seeing she's escaping and trying to be free. So this is really what is marketed to the people in the trailer. So what they're saying is Netflix worded it wrong, but that's not what is represented in the film. Another thing too to notice, how the music changes throughout the film. The music becomes more uplifting as the film, the music becomes more uplifting as the trailer goes on. So this is her breaking away from the traditional family, and this is her going into her free dancing crew, her crew of free dancers, because they're not twerkers, they are free dancers. Okay, that's what they are. So twerking, we don't call twerking anymore. This is 2020. It's called free dancing. All right. But all jokes aside, so she's doing that with her crew, and she's breaking away from her family, and the music kind of goes along with that, as if the problem is the family. Now, what she's trying to say is the problem is oversexualizing girls, and the problem is the traditional family. And she's trying to say she's kind of struggling with the middle, or she makes a mistake and she veers off too far. But in the trailer, you don't see how her dance crew, and how, that side, more so the Western world, which is really kind of what she's trying to adapt, which is really what she's trying to represent with the dance crew, is wrong at all. That's not what the film, not the film, I keep saying film, that's not what the trailer is representative of. Okay. So let's ask the very important question that I know you guys are here for. Why did Netflix agree to showing this movie on their platform and word it like that? Now, I'm gonna submit to you that they worded it like that because that's how they saw it. And that's not how just Netflix saw it. That's how a lot of people who have seen it saw it. I'm going to show you an interview at the 2020 Sundance where somebody else describes the dancing as twerking too.
The performances are amazing, including Fatih and Steph, who's the lead. There's twerking, there's so much energy to this film.
So the question on everybody's mind is why? Why exactly would Netflix see this film, look at this film as 12-year-old, not 12, I'm sorry, 11-year-old girls being sexualized and dancing, twerking in front of a large group of people? Why would Netflix say, yeah, that should be on our platform? We should, that's a movie that people would like to see. What do you think is the reason behind that? Now, I am going to make another video about this because This actually brings up a lot of other things that I would like to talk about, but I'm not going to talk about it in this particular video. I'm going to make another video about that because it's a lot. What I call this is the door to pedophilia. They're trying to open the door for open pedophilia. Because right now, in the world we live in, pedophilia in general is condemned all across the world. It happens. It does happen, unfortunately, but it's not something that in anywhere in the world you can go and be like, oh, well, I mean, yeah, she's 11 and he's 40 something, but you know, it is what it is. That's not something that you can see and people be like, hey, that's okay. Because we have recognized that children doing things sexually is incorrect. Children should be of age before they start to explore their, like they're saying, explore her femininity. Children should be of age before they, start to dive into anything sexual. So before I get into like wild conspiracies, let me remind you, Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire. Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of influence. Now he, quote, killed himself. He killed himself, okay? He didn't, but he killed himself before he was able to snitch on his associates and his other colleagues who are of either equal or higher level who do the same things and engage in the same actions. Super rich, have much influence over a whole lot of things, especially the media. So they will want pedophilia to kind of be open because they are pedophiles. There's a whole bunch of pedophiles. They will want pedophilia to be open, but they know they can't just bust the door open because society, the world society, would shun them and pretty much crucify them. They know if they open the door too wide, too fast, that they're going to be rejected and they're going to shut the door, lock it, and make sure it never opens again. So what they try to do is they try to crack the door just a little bit, more and more. They try to crack it just a little bit, and then they kind of get caught and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how that happened. That was just totally wrong. It's a misinterpretation. That's not what I meant. I'm going to show you a couple of things, but I'm not going to show you all the things. I'm going to save that to the next video I make about this, but I'm going to show you a couple of things about that. Now, as you can see, those small little things, those are to sexualize children. When they sexualize children, they get to kind of condone doing sexual acts with children, saying, okay, well, traditionally, and this is why they attack tradition so much when it comes to children and their sexuality, because traditionally we believe that children cannot consent. Now we're viewing children as more adults. Now we're viewing children, they have a better understanding of themselves. Now this isn't to attack any sort of group, but this is to focus on the main problem, which is pedophilia and open pedophilia, which is what these people use their $1 billion for. They have billions and billions of dollars and super influence on a lot of things in society. They have billions and billions of dollars and they have a lot of influence on the way we live in society. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to crack open the door to pedophilia because they know if they open it all the way too fast, then they're going to get caught and it's never going to happen. So what they're doing is they're trying to inch it just a little bit, inch by inch, to where people are all like, it's not really that bad. You know what I'm saying? And eventually they start watering it down and eventually they start breaking people into where now it's open. Now it's all like, hey, that's their choice. So I'm going to show you just a small little thing. Maybe it's a preview. I'm going to call it a preview. It's going to be a preview to the video I'm going to make next time. Stay tuned for that video. But this kind of wraps up what I'm talking about here. Netflix is in on a whole pedophile gang, the whole pedophilia thing that they got going on where they're trying to inch that open. I want you guys to watch out for your children, watch out for your young siblings, your young cousins, nieces, and nephews, because this is a sad world out here where we have pedophiles who have thousands times more influence and power to get things done than we do. So you guys got to watch what your children are watching, watch what they're doing, watch their social media. I'm not saying micromanage anybody, but especially at the age 11, you have to pay very close attention to them and make sure that they're not being influenced to free dance. They're not being influenced to be sexual or whatever they call exploring your femininity or whatever word or term you like to use. You have to make sure that they're guided in a proper, respectful way so they don't grow up and be taken advantage of sexually because they were oversexualized at a young age. Thank you guys for watching. There will be more content coming up soon. I guarantee you guys. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to link the trailer in the description below so that way nobody can say I'm taking anything out of context. And please leave a like, a comment, a subscribe. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned. Thank you.